This is verse 23, the 6th chapter, Gospel of Matthew. Matthew is reporting Jesus' words concerning priorities in life, laying a treasure up in heaven instead of on earth, letting our interests be fixed in those eternal values rather than those that are temporal and earthly. And in that connection, he talks about the desires, which are metaphorically referred to as the eye. If your eye is set on where the treasure is, a heavenly treasure, then of course the effect of that is going to fill your life with those values that bring light. And in contrast to that, now he turns his attention to those whose eyes are gazing on things that are purely earthly, and he states it this way. So we have ian, the word for if, that takes the subjunctive, and so we have the subjunctive of eimi down here. So if, postpositive da, but if ho ophthalmos, same as previously, the word for I. If the I, su, the possessive second person pronoun, but if the I of you, poniros, evil. One of the strongest words, of course, for evil in the scripture. If your eye is evil, meaning if your treasure represents things that are void of heavenly value, that they are this worldly, and that becomes the consuming passion of your life. If your eye is fixed on simply the acquisition of, you might say, this worldly things, so that it has an evil bent. If your eye is evil, then holon, the adjective, means all or whole. Whole, to soma, all the body, su, of you, all of your behavior, all of the direction of your interests and passions. And then skotenon, this is the really opposite of photenon, you may remember in the preceding verse. Photos would have meant light, and the tenon from telos means the ultimate expression of it, so it's full of light. In this case, it's skotenon, full of darkness. Estai, this is the third person singular future active indicative of eimi. So if your eye is evil, then the whole body is going to be overcome with evil. It's the absolute opposite of what he had stated in the previous verse. Now notice the A here is in the indicative, which means it's more the idea of assuming that which is consistent with fact. So if in fact would be the idea, or since or because is the notion. If in fact, therefore, postpositive, therefore, tophos. If in fact the light, tophos, in the in tosoi, in apposition. So the light, the in you light is the idea, in with the dative here. Skotos, estin, is actually darkness. So if what you consider to be illumination, an enlightened view of things, you're going to get more money in the bank, you're going to acquire more of the things that are utterly devoid of eternal consequence. If the light in you is in fact darkness, and by the way, the word skotos, darkness here, is distinguished from a related word skotia, which is feminine. Skotos refers to darkness in an absolute sense, absolute darkness, if you will, no light at all, whereas skotia has a relative idea, relative darkness. And of course, Jesus dramatically is using this word, absolute darkness. If the light in you is devoid of eternal interest, is darkness, in other words, then skotos, the same word. The skotos, and then the interrogative pronoun here, translated usually something like how great. So how great is the darkness? If that which you consider illumination is in fact darkness, then what astonishing depths of darkness that must be. And so Jesus has drawn a sharp distinction between values that are set on eternal value and so on, and those that are simply rooted in this world. And he regards one as moving toward light, and the other as moving toward full darkness.